On today's episode of Decoding Dayton, we tackle a spot we've been dying to get into, both figurative and literally. Where else can you go in Dayton and have one of the most iconic views of the whole city? Where else can you be surrounded by some of the most influential people of the city? Right here at Woodland Cemetery. And Angie's gonna show me a thing or two. Hey Angie.
Hi.
You gonna give me an awesome tour?
Of course I am.
Okay,
Hop
let's
on
do it.
in. And hold on.
Okay. So what's this place all about?
So now we are underneath the historic chapel. And this is what we call the receiving vault. This section of the chapel was built in 1894. And the reason being, this was an addition to the original chapel built in 1887. And they put this receiving vault here because they needed additional space from the receiving vault that was originally out on the grounds. So during the winter time, when ground was frozen and there was no modern machinery, graves would have to be hand dug. And it may take a day or more to hand dig a grave, so they would have to hold the caskets. So this is where they would hold the caskets. Now, above us is the chapel, and they would hold services there.
Right.
And so what we're looking at here is the underneath of the bier. Not beer you drink, beer, B-I-E-R.
Okay.
Which then would raise up, and the casket would sit on top of that.
Right,
and then it could be lowered to make it seem like it was being lowered into the ground if the casket needed to be stored in the receiving vault.
Right.
And then our guys would come and take it out the back and then go bury the casket. Yeah.
Right.
This is the original receiving vault. This one was built in 1847, so it is the oldest structure on the grounds. And it was built by Jean-Jacques Boucher.
Say that 3 times fast.
He was the original stonemason who built the original courthouse on Courthouse Square.
Oh, really?
He also built St. Peter's and Chains Church in Cincinnati, as well as worked on the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Man, look at this place.
So you can feel how cool it is in here.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It built subterranean, so it would
Right.
stay a cool 53 degrees all year round. As you can see in the walls, the holes there, they would have put the beams there, and then they could put the wood slats, and then they could just put the caskets and store the caskets that way here.
I was wondering how it worked.
Yeah, until time that they could go and bury them on the ground. And of course, there's a vent hole in the ceiling as well.
That's smart. Well, this one's awesome. It's covered in hieroglyphics.
That's right. Everybody asks, well, what does it mean? And so I went into the office and got it. So
you got some notes?
I got some notes. Can I read them?
Please.
Behold, I am with Osiris, and I proclaim what he announceth among the mighty. He speaketh to me the words of men. I listen, and I repeat them to you.
That feels a lot better.
You seriously brought another shirt?
Yeah, I'm burning up.
I know it's hot out here. You want to go get cool?
Yeah.
You want to go in the mausoleum?
Yeah, the famous people in there?
Of course.
Oh, let's see them.
Go. When the mausoleum was being built, Virginia Kettering had a special room fashioned for her or for her family.
Right.
So this is down this alcove. Now, I said that this was put in here about 1978 or so, and we see that Charles Kettering died in 1958. Well, Virginia had Charles Kettering, his wife Olive Kettering, and then Eugene Kettering, their only son that Virginia was married to, exhumed from the grounds. They were actually down by the pond.
So they were here? From the grounds here?
From the grounds here, and
Okay.
then reinterred into the mausoleum into their own special room.
Wow.
Are you cooled down now?
Much, much cooler.
Okay,
Really
great.
nice.
You want to go out on the grounds and
Yeah.
see some famous people out there?
Absolutely.
Approach this big rock. This is Irma Bombeck.
Oh, the writer.
The writer,
Wow.
author, humorist. This rock was actually shipped in from Arizona, so it's an Arizona red rock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she used to sit on this one. It sat in her neighbor's yard, and she used to sit on the top of this and write her books and articles. We have Leslie Mapp, who, after D.W. Mikesell passed away, Leslie Knapp took over the Mikesell's Potato Chips Company.
All right.
So it's maybe he. Did you just see that?
Yeah. We have a treat here.
Maybe he was.
It's like someone left us a little toast.
It's true. I say thank you, D.W. Mikesell and Leslie Knapp. Thank you.
Thank you.
So here we're walking up towards the Wright brothers. So Wilbur, Catherine, Orville, and then in the center you see this Oda and Ida.
Right.
They were the twins that were born between Wilbur and Orville in 1870, and they lived to be 13 and 18 days old. Paul Laurence Dunbar was one of the most renowned African-American poets of his time. He did speak and talk and write in perfect English, but he had a real knack for writing in slave dialect.
Okay.
And at that time, those works were more popular because it was like a novelty to people.
Right.
And so there is a verse on his headstone. It is the second verse of the poem, A Death Song. And another interesting story about Paul Laurence Dunbar was the receiving vault we were in. He had laid in the receiving vault for some time and then was buried on the grounds in section 111, which is down by the pump house. And Orville Wright didn't feel that that was a very fitting place for a man of his stature.
Right.
So he purchased this additional lot next to Joseph Heiss, who is this big monument here.
Right.
And purchased this lot so that Paul could be closer to his family. So that's a pretty cool story.
That is a good story.
That's a really good story. Well, are you hungry again?
Well, always.
I have something really special for you on this one.
So Cheez-Its, I take it the inventor of Cheez-Its is here?
Absolutely. Joseph W. Green was the inventor of Cheez-Its.
So I should put one down as a memento.
Let's put one down. All right.
All right, Cheez-Its, Dayton, who knew?
Who knew?
So we're at Colonel Deeds' mausoleum?
Colonel Edward Deeds, yes. This is his mausoleum. Largest mausoleum, family mausoleum, a monument that we have here at Woodland. Right behind him is Lauren Berry, who invented the Yellow Pages, the Ellen Berry Company.
Okay.
And then in front of him, Governor James Cox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in the Patterson Monument.
We are in the Patterson Archway. And as you can see here, we've got a commemoration to Colonel Robert Patterson. So First Lieutenant Frank Stewart Patterson died in an airplane crash at Wright Field in 1918. And then soon afterwards, it became known as Wright-Patterson Airfield, and then eventually Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So a lot of people think that Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is named after John Henry Patterson, when in fact it's named after Frank Stewart Patterson. This is the highest natural point in the city of Dayton. Some interesting facts when you look out is that the big black building that we're going to see is Kettering Tower.
Right.
And the top of it is flat with the runways at the Vandalia Airport.
Oh, okay.
So you can see how Dayton sits down in a fishbowl and
yeah,
why
down in the valley
and the 1913 flood happened, because all around out in the horizon you can see, the land is much higher than where the actual city sits. So
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is really good.
I
really appreciate
hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
I enjoyed it.
I learned a lot.
Well, good.
Yeah.
So now you have to come on one of my full tours.
The full one.
The full tour.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can tell you all those background little things and bring your Cheez-Its. And,
Cheez-Its.
And your Mike
Lays. Mike Cells, not Lays. I'm biting my tongue.
What? Somebody just rolled over in the grave. Did you feel that?
It was
I felt the ground shake.
Mike Cells.
Mike Cells.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
So.
Awesome.
We'll come back.
I will.
Because there's more,
Yeah.
There's 109,000 stories here.
Easy. Yeah.
Thank you, D.W. Mikesell and Leslie Knapp. Whoops.
They call this one the Lodge, huh?
Welcome. Hello. Yeah, the Lodge, or perhaps even the the house at the Waldo Street gate entrance. I was the back gate.
Let's just redo it.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's so good.
From the community. Oh yeah, sorry.
Watch out for that.
Watch out for that.
Place is beautiful. Hey, this looks just like Pikachu.